Hi guys, so this is Black Cross and welcome back to my live stream. So guys, earlier on we were looking at BTCUSD and Ethereum, if I'm not wrong. Let me just try Ethereum, USDT. Is it this one or was it the second one? Let me just yeah, still the same thing. Okay, so this was our Ethereum, this is our BTC. So I'm going to focus here. Second. Okay, so remember guys, we are on a 5 minutes time frame, and guys, this is what we had, this was one of our reaction levels that we had drawn earlier on. We wanted to see how Bitcoin was going to play on these levels, because we could see some of the resistance between these two levels, this being the resistance level, this being the support. Yeah, the supply and demand zones in a normal basic language generally. So earlier on we had drawn an overall view of what the market might look like. I gave you a prediction. All these were some of the drawings that gave out some of the reasons why there were some high drops in the market, like the bearish moves and the bullish moves, that kind of those kind of movement in this market. So if you missed out on that, there is a video that talked about this one. I'll put the link on the description if you missed it, so you can understand what we literally talked about. And now basically this was to give us an overview of what happened in the market, because initially, just to give you an overview of what we talked about roughly, but if you want everything in details, you can go back to the video and you'll be able to grasp some of the reasons as to why we had all these structures drawn. So guys, all these lines that you can see, these are some of the reaction levels that we have at the moment. Yeah, these are some of the reaction levels that we have. Most of them are not just of the recent time, but they are linked to like some of the longest time frame, 1 day time frame. You can see like they link the movement of Bitcoin. I need to mute these. They link the movement of Bitcoin. Sorry about that. So they link the movement of Bitcoin from the beginning of time. So what I did not mark was these levels over here, which is 3,500. Yeah, but I marked this level, which is around 10,000. I also put some of the reaction level upon this level, which is 19, 18, and this one over here. And then there are these ones that we had drawn while we were taking our positions in the market generally. So basically, if you wanted to know what happened, why we have all these lines drawn, I told you earlier on that I'll be having these levels, because these will help us in the long run. We'll be able to see some places where there were some of the liquidity left, change of characters in the market, all these kind of stuff that you need to find out. What have I done? Yeah, so that's the reason why we have all these reaction levels, all these structures, the support and the resistance. So for now I'll just call them reaction levels. And yeah, so some of them will act as support, some of them will act as demand basically. So one of the roles just happened. Okay, so if you know, if you have been trading for quite some time now, then you know that in a trade, basically, in a trade we always have like support and resistance. And earlier on, what we use in these live charts, one of the indicators that I always use most of the time is the volatility stop. I use it while trading gold, eurusd, and BTCUSDT. So whenever I want to use these volatility stop, I always use it on a 5 minutes time frame, because that claims like it kind of gives you a clear indication of what's happening in the market. So like an overview of what I told other people who are viewing my live stream earlier on, because right now I know the person who is viewing this is quite different. Maybe the people who are viewing my live stream right now are different from the people who are viewing it earlier on. So yeah, so volatility stop kind of gives you an idea of when to get out of the trend, or maybe when the trend is coming to an end, or when to join a trend, something of the sort. So a volatility stop, some people use it to take sell positions in the market, some use it to take both the sell and buy positions in the market, and some use it to take buy positions in the market. Remember earlier on I told you guys that we have different kinds of traders. We have traders who are only good in taking buy positions in the market. We have those traders who are good in taking sell positions in the market, and we have those traders who are good in taking both the sell and buy positions in the market. And the goal is to become both of them, because if you like taking the buy positions in the market whenever there is a downward trend, you'll have to figure out how to take the sell positions in the market so that you can maximize your profits. So basically volatility stop can help you with that. And guys, remember I told you that you have to combine multiple things with each in order to have like 99 or maybe 97% of profits while using it, because if you use it just by itself, then you might end up missing out or maybe entering the market on a wrong signal. So one of the best way to use volatility stop is to use support and resistance, and also to understand the candlestick patterns. Yeah, basically mostly those are some of the things that can help you know how to use it. And also if you can like easily detect where there is a liquidity in the market, then it will be so easier for you to know when to get into the market and when to get out, or maybe when to buy and when to sell. So it's always all about liquidity. At the end of the day, it's always all about liquidity. So basically this is what we drew, and you can see these lines over here. These are 1 hour time frame. So in our 1 hour time frame, this was our support and resistance over here. So this is how the chart has been. This is how the market has been looking like for quite some time now. You can see this movement. It has been ranging for quite some time if you look at it in 1 hour time frame. Remember, if you're trading and you view the market or maybe the charts using different time frames, then basically you will be able to note that if you're using like a 1 hour time frame, the market will be ranging at some level, maybe on an upward trend it will be trending, or maybe ranging. It depends, because this is 1 hour time frame, but if you look at this in 4 hour time frame, is a little bit different from what we see, because there is less noise in 4 hour time frame as compared to in 1 hour time frame. And the same applies to 5 minutes. So guys, remember I told you that volatility stop works better in a 5 minutes time frame. So this is 1 hour time frame. I wouldn't really recommend using volatility stop in 1 hour time frame, because you'll be entering the market really late, and you'll also close maybe your buys really late. So that is if you're using only volatility. But if you combine volatility and support with support and resistance, it will give you a high chance of you making profits, because now you won't have to rely only on the volatility, but at times you'll have to use, like, you'll just have to see where the support is and where there is resistance, and you'll be able to know when to buy and when to sell. Like, if you are at this zone, you are at this zone over here, you'll have to wait for the market to go a little bit up, maybe to this level, and then you can like take a buy position to this level, wait for the market. Once it has gotten to this level, you can take your profits and wait for the market to drop a little bit before entering the market and taking sell positions in the market. But the reason why I'm telling you to wait a little bit, there is always a false breakout in the market, or maybe a breakout in the market. So if you enter a position at this level over here, then you're most likely to incur some of the losses, because I don't know if there is one that I can explain. So yeah, I think this was once our support and resistance with at this level. So I'll just have to assume, or maybe let's see, we have a ranging market anywhere, so that I can give you an example. Yeah, so let me just give you this one. So this one, maybe you took a buy position at this level, it came to this level, the market was playing so perfectly. So let's say at this level you decided to enter the market, as you decide to take like a sell position in the market, and this happens. Remember, this is a breakout going upward, and this was like some of false. Most people thought that this was a false breakout because it came to this level over here before proceeding going upwards. So if you enter the market like this market, if you enter like a sell position at this level over here, then the market goes up, then it might end up hitting your stop loss before coming back to this level and then proceeding on its way out. So you have to be patient, you have to wait, because there is always a false breakout in the market, and there is always a breakout. So you have to wait a little bit and enter the market when you're sure that the market is playing according to your game. Okay, so another one is like, let's say that this was somehow a trend. Yeah, just take that trend, that example. I don't want to zoom so much in the chart because it's a little bit late, but I just wanted to follow up on this. So guys, this is basically 1 hour time frame, and as we were talking earlier on, we saw that this level was hit not once but like 4 times right now. So we are don't know guys if I don't know what we're going to expect. Most people are thinking that this market is going to break further going downwards, but for me I feel like this market is going to break further going upwards. I don't know why I feel that way, but remember, as a trader you always have the sentimental, fundamental and technical analysis, so at times you have to be to trust your instincts. But for me, I have a reason as to why I'm saying that. I have a reason as to why I feel that is going to be the real thing, because guys, at this level, if you look at this chart clearly, you can always tell the balance, which the balance, not the balance, but the strength of the market based on how the sell position. Let's say like right now we are selling, or we have been in a ranging market. So what you can always do is you look at the strength of maybe on this level. We know that this is where sellers are at the moment, at the support, at the supply zone, and at the demand zone, this is where the buyers are. So it's always so easy to detect when the number of sellers or the strength of sellers in the market is going down as compared to the strength of the buyers. So what I can tell is this. You can see this was a drop to this level over here, and this happened to this level. The same strength was pushed to this level over here, and you can see this was also a bit stronger. It came back to this level over here, making it even stronger. So you could tell that this was going to go back to this level over here, but the reaction of sellers from this point to this point wasn't that strong as this one. You can see like it tried to hit this level, but it did not like hit the level as much as these other stops over here. I don't know if I should draw these or should I put an emoji. I think I'll have to put it here, this point over here, but now I'll have to push it down. Just a second, and clone this one. Then I can move, no, you. To this point over here. Clone. No, come on. So these are some of the points. So on these levels you can tell like this was our demand zone, and you can tell the strength of the buyers from this level going upward, and you can tell that at this level over here most of the buyers did not wait for it to drop to this level over here, as most of the buyers were joining in the previous stops. So basically this kind of shows that this level over here is going to be a weak zone or a weak reaction level for most buyers. So there is a chance that it might go higher than this, and to prove that we also have some of the liquidity that was left at this level over here. So I will be watching out for this level over here just in case this market decides to break out going upward. So yes, this is still like the same level, but you can always measure the strength of buyers. Like when you see in a support and resistance market, but then you realize like at some levels the buyers came in at a lower level and they pushed the market a little bit higher, and the same applied. You see like more sellers came in a little bit higher, dropped it lower, and the same kept on applying. And you notice that at this level, most of the sellers did not jump in as earlier as the previous ones, and you can see like they tried to push the market, but the buyers were a little bit stronger and they've been trying to push the market a little bit higher. So for me, I'll be watching out for these levels over here, but it's clear that the market might, if the market goes up and this level over here, our supply zone, becomes weak, then the buyers will be able to push the market a little bit further, going upwards to this level. But in case anything happens, let me remove these little emojis, just in case something happens and the market decides to break out going downwards, then I'll be watching out for these levels over here, just to see what might happen in the market. So remember, right now we are in a ranging market, and this is in 1 hour time frame. So being that the volatility stop works perfectly in a 5 minutes time frame, I decided to have another structure drawn over here. So guys, this one over here and this one over here, these are some of the levels that we've been talking about. And this one over here is a new level in a 5 minutes time frame, and we can see like a huge range. The market has been ranging in these levels, within these levels, sorry. So what I was telling you, let me just show you something that I was telling you. Okay, at this level, this happened over here, the market went up, came down, and you can see this breakout. This is one thing that most of us were not expecting, but it did happen. I left my live stream when the market was around at this level over here. Most people, was it this level or this level? It was around 5 minutes time frame, I think, around this zone over here, if I'm not wrong. So I left the market when it was around here, and you can see what has happened within, it was at around 2. Yeah, you can see that September, yeah, it was at around 1 or 2 p.m. today, Kenyan time, that is. And the market, most people thought that the market was going to break out going upward, but then it never really happened. We could see like some rally going downwards, and yeah, so this is what happened in the market. The market came back to this level, going back up, and then we noticed this level over here, leaving some liquidity over here and here. This came back to just the liquidity, and we were down again, and then this one, we can see some rally going upward. So guys, one thing about the support and resistance is that this was our support, this was our demand zone, and we can say that the market broke out of this level, making this our new support, or maybe our new supply zone, and this one became our new demand zone. So this is how the market has been. Broke out from this level, coming down to this level, then up again, it came down to this level, and it decided to go up. So one thing we're not sure about is if it's going to keep on moving upward. Guys, remember that our major zones, this is not our major zone, this is like in a 5 minutes time frame. We have our major zones, this level over here and this one over here. So what we are looking for, basically, if we are still on a ranging market in 1 hour time frame, then we expect that maybe this market might move going upward to this level. But if at all that doesn't really happen, then we'll be looking for a drop from this level going downwards. So this is an overview of our market. If I zoom in, you don't know if I'm zooming in or out, but this kind of makes it a little bit harder to see the patterns or what is really happening in the market. So yeah, so right now what I can say is that we're at this level. Mostly I think most people are waiting for the market to rise up to this level, zone 20s. So we're waiting to see how the market is going to play out. Apparently in a 5 minutes time frame, it broke out of these two levels, the supply and demand zone, and it decided to rally down to this level over here. Remember guys, this has become one of the most interesting zones, because you can see like the market keeps on breaking out from these zones and coming back to this level, testing it and moving upwards. So we're waiting to see how this is going to play out, if it's going to come back to these levels over here before actually moving upward. So that is one thing that you're waiting to see. But for me, if at all it doesn't break out from this level over here, I'll be looking forward for a rally, a strong rally to this level over here, or maybe around these zones, that is, or maybe even better, a breakout going upwards. So guys, remember last year, at around last year, the September, was it last year September, that's when we started anticipating a drop in BTC. So we don't know if this year in September if we're going to have a major drop too, or if it's going to be an upward trend. I think it was a drop around September, or was it an upward rally? Let's look at it. I don't want to keep on guessing, yet we have a chart by yourself. So yeah, it was a rally, sorry guys. So around September there was a high movement of, there was a high movement going upwards to this level before a drastic downward movement from the month of November going forward up until today. So this being the month of September, let's hope that the same thing that happened last year might happen in the market this year too. But if that doesn't really happen, then we'll be looking at this zone over here, which is going to be very tricky for most of the traders who have taken buy positions using it on BTC basically. So okay, so guys, this is how it looks like in 1 day time frame, but we are not really interested in that. And most of you want to see how the charts are playing out, so I'll go back to 5 minutes time frame. And guys, this is how our chart looks like right now. And guys, one thing you should never be afraid of is to draw these reaction levels. Seeing something interesting around this zone over here. These are some of the reaction levels that you need to pay attention to. Yeah, so these are some of the reaction zones that we can look at, you can see that this point it got tested here, came down, came back to this level, came down, back to this level before majorly dropping, going downward, and then back almost to this level, but actually it's actually the same level somehow, before dropping to this other level, and then another rally to these levels over here. So the reason why I keep on drawing these lines, or maybe these rectangles, is because I don't want us to miss out on some of the most important levels, as we can see. So guys, you can see right now like Bitcoin's kind of dropping again, so it might drop maybe to this level or to this level before moving up again, or it might be rallying going upward. Guys, you can see in a 5 minutes time frame, these came in around this zone over here, which I use a little bit late, but if you have support and resistance, you could have entered the market around this level over here and made profits in return. So basically this is just an overview of what you should see in the market. So I'm going to let this play for quite some time, as we see how this market is going to play out for us, if it's going to be on our side or favor us, or maybe if it's going to buy or if it's going to sell, basically. So yeah, let's see how the market plays out, and yeah, as that keeps playing, this is just an overview. You can see how the market is going to play out. So this is going to be one of the levels that we're going to see if it's going to get tested, and there's just allow me to extend this line slightly. I hope it won't confuse most of you. These are some of our reaction levels where the market might react to. That's why you can see me drawing these standings. So this one is just view right now, because you notice that there is some sort of resistance at this level, like at this support zone. So our support is supply zone. Okay, so we want to see how the market is going to play, if it's going to break out for more value to be higher, or maybe if it's still going to drop down to this level or even this level. So let's see how the market plays out.